More economic issues in Nigeria. The World Bank saying Nigeria's constant fiscal deficit has worsened the nation's public debt stock, which is at 96.3% of government revenues spent on servicing debt in 2022. This is according to the Macro Poverty Outlook for Nigeria, April 2023, released by the bank. Arise Business Analyst Chika Mbonu is with us to discuss. Chika, you're very welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
Fine, sir. Lots going on. I would have had you comment on this aviation matter because you talk about that a lot.
I mean, dealing with the unions.
Yes, indeed.
But talking seriously, I mean, we have to dimension their issues. Or substantially, a lot of it has to do with their welfare.
Right.
Welfare, the minimum wage, not just the minimum wage, but the consequential business that if you base the minimum wage at 30,000 naira, it must automatically adjust the other levels.
Right.
Going up. You must also recalculate all the pensions, everything that has to do with that on the base has changed. And they say the ministry has been very slow in attend to them.
Yeah.
And of course, the other issue about the demolition of the ministry's intention to build an aviation city,
yes, which
would have led them to demolish the old farm building and one other normal building. But this is late in the day for things like that. But aviation is a very important sector of the economy. You shut down the aviation, you shut down the economy. And I always say that the government people, maybe when I'm in government, maybe I will understand why there's a lethargy.
Yes, indeed.
Sometimes, we shake our head and say, why is it taking them time to be able to resolve these issues?
Yeah.
Knowing the importance of aviation, why does it take them time for allow people to go on warning strike and so on and so forth? And why they do engage and talk and resolve? But this is where they are now. They have given us 7 days notice.
Warning, yes.
And then let's hope that everybody will come to the table and let sanity prevail. And so yesterday it was confusion. Imagine you have a surgery and you have to fly to go and do the surgery. Your funeral has already been declared.
Yeah.
Businesses, opportunities, and then a lot of people who have gravitated towards flying because of insecurity in the roads. You have to now expose yourself to the roads. So aviation is very important for the economy. It's a major issue, and we'll keep talking about it, and hope that everybody involved. And again, the workers must also know that things are changing in the world.
He said that Zoom is fake. I'm sorry to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. But the ministry wanted them to have a meeting, and he said Zoom is fake, that they can doctor the Zoom meeting.
Things are changing in the world. I mean, and the Nigerian airports are disasters.
Right.
Run by these fan and employees and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to the toilet smell, the conveyor belts, creak. Nothing works.
Yeah.
Air conditioners don't work. It's like an oven and so on and so forth. So we wonder sometimes what we're paying for.
Yeah.
The taxes we're paying for what's happening. Okay, let's focus on
debts. Yes.
And, I mean, about 2 years ago, earlier than that, on this program, I told you we're a broke country.
Yes.
And each time I said it, you always be looking at me and saying, why is this guy? Why? I'm hoping it's not a wailing. What's that thing that
wailing willers?
Additional calls us wailing willers. Yes. And then the Minister for Finance Credo, she had a popular line about problem is not debt, but revenue problem.
Revenue, yes.
Now look at it now. Revenue, 97% of revenue that we earn goes towards servicing the debts.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine that.
Almost everything.
Everything.
Yeah. Although, okay, Chika, I should point out that the ministry said 80.6% as at November. No, you don't agree.
I don't agree.
I don't agree. It's higher. Yeah.
I don't agree.
Okay.
They push out their figure.
Yeah.
It's like the person said, I gave you all the money. He said, no, I gave you 10 million naira you needed. And he said, no, he gave me 9.9 million. It's not the 10 million he gave to me. So what's still very high? So, and, one of the things there's some things from that report I wanted to push out.
Okay.
That sadden me.
Yeah.
One of them, it says, oil booms have previously supported the Nigerian economy. But this has not been the case since 2021.
Yeah.
He said Nigeria is more fragile position now than before the 2021 global oil boom.
Oh, wow.
Nigeria,
you're quoting the World Bank.
Quoting the World Bank report, extra from the report.
Yes.
That we're more fragile position now. So look at it this way. Literally every country that produces oil is in a better position.
Yes.
Post the 2021 oil boom. A lot of countries have paid off their debts and very good position. But ours, they say we're in more fragile position. Yet Mr. Silva is going to go and contest for governor.
In Bayelsa.
Governor Bayelsa, no shame in the country.
Wow.
Petrol subsidy is a major issue.
Oh, yes.
It was 0.7% of our GDP in 2021. Last year, it was 2.3% of our GDP.
It's huge.
So, again, just like people told you that Zoom is fake. Some people are also saying that there's no subsidy is nil. Nothing.
Right.
But that subsidy is real. The fiscal deficit is about 5% of GDP. Remember the Lagos statutory is 3%.
Yes.
Again, we're breaching the law. In lands where, in geographies where things work, this is supposed to be an impeachable offense. Where you bring things like that. Debt stock is about almost 40% of our GDP. The debt service, of course, we talked about it already.
Yeah.
And then, most importantly, about 13 more million Nigerians entering into poverty.
Yeah.
Entering into poverty. And economy is projected to grow by 2.9%, of course, or 3%, as the case may be, or even 3.2%. Barely above the 2.4% population growth.
Yeah.
So positive per capita, GDP per capita, but still cumulatively negative GDP. So we're struggling. We're really struggling. So oil production is subdued because of what? Inefficiencies and insecurity. And we know that already.
Of course, we know that already. Extensively.
I'm doing something I'm going to do maybe this week on the fate of Nigerian indigenous producers who bought off on the assets that the IOCs left.
Yeah.
I mean, it has been a disaster. A lot of them are in distress. A lot of the banks who lent money to them are actually crying. So you have issues with the decline of oil production because of fuel subsidy, exchange distortion. Even this calculation, I hope that, I don't know whether they monetize the 21 trillion of ways and means.
I don't think it's part. I'm not sure if it's part of that, right?
Well, because if you put it there,
it goes up.
It goes up.
Yeah,
it goes up.
Yeah.
It goes up. So, this is like a memo to the incoming president.
Yeah,
that's why we're talking about this.
Yeah,
so they can know what the issues are. If anybody tells him, let's go diversification or whatever, guys, let them focus on what we have, which is the oil. There's so much inefficiency there. NNPC, as I said, is like bathing with your clothes on. The NNPC, the government's NNPC, and also the so-called private NNPCs. Now, nothing has changed. It's just like you have a room that has 2 doors. You just enter one room, and then, now NNPC limited, and so there are issues there, or what will happen. And so let him focus on oil, get the things that are happening. And I've not even thought about about 28 election heading to 8 states.
Yeah.
Out of them, I think 16 were new states. Those new states, new governors, are going to inherit massive debts, little or no revenues, very redundant projects that are not revenue earning. I thought about all these things. Some governors just go and build an airport that land A380.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that they want to be, they don't want to do it 1 hour or 2 hour journey from a neighboring state airport. And so themselves, they just want to have an airport there. So building a municipal airport there. So as memo to the incoming people who are in distress, anybody who thinks that things are going to get better, ask them, where's the money?
Right.
Where's the money? And they'll let nobody come in and they say, I have a feeling that we're going to continue with the regime of ways and means.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Because we have no choice. We have to get the revenue from somewhere, so we have to continue borrowing.
We're going to continue to print money.
Whew.
And remember the impact of that on inflation.
Yeah.
And too. But that's what it is.
Chika, that's why we have you on to highlight these issues. So I appreciate you coming on. And
thanks a lot.
Fuel subsidies, I think we're going to be having more conversations on that down the line. All right, business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.